Welcome back to LexiTalk with Dr. Yusefi. Ready for another deep dive.
Always ready to explore the power of words.
So, we're all about adding more tools to your vocabulary toolbox, right?
Absolutely. The more precise and impactful your language, the better you can express yourself and truly connect with others.
And today, we're digging into two fantastic words from Oxford Word Skills, the advanced level.
Oof.
You know, the one by Ruth Gairns and Stuart Redman?
Of course, it's a gold mine for anyone wanting to take their English to the next level.
Totally. And you flagged Unit 21, all about holidays, for this deep dive. We thought that would be perfect for today.
Great choice. Holidays are such a rich source of experiences and emotions.
Exactly. And they lend themselves perfectly to the two words we've picked out, thriving and stunning.
Two words that can paint vivid pictures and evoke powerful feelings.
But we're not just giving you definitions here. We're going to get hands-on with repetition, comparisons, little quizzes.
That's right. We want you to really engage and make these words a natural part of your vocabulary.
All right, let's jump in. First up, thriving.
Thriving. Now, the glossary on page 76 defines it as extremely active or impressive, synonymous with successful.
Right. But what does that really mean in practice?
Well, let's look at how it's used in the context of holidays, just like you're reading in exercise 1.
Okay, so the book starts by painting a picture of Lisbon. Lisbon, it says, is surrounded by 7 hills, and for most of them you have beautiful, stunning views of this unusual city.
Yeah.
And they really emphasize how it's kept so much of its architecture and cultural heritage.
And then it goes on to describe different areas of the city. You've got the Alfama, where, well, you can just casually walk around and soak up the atmosphere, the charm of the old town.
And then there's the Kyoto district, full of shops and restaurants, a real bustling place, it sounds like.
But if you're looking for exciting nightlife, it says, head for the Barro Alto. That's where it's all happening.
And after all that exploring, you can relax on the nearby beaches of Cascais and Estoril. Sounds like the perfect way to recharge.
Exactly. Now, notice how all these descriptions build up this image of Lisbon as a city that's really full of life.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Lots going on, lots to see and do.
Right. And when we talk about something thriving, it takes that sense of activity a step further. It suggests it's this real energy and success. Like, it's not just busy, it's actually flourishing.
That makes sense.
Well,
So it's not just about being active, it's about succeeding, about doing well.
Exactly. And that brings us to our first mini quiz, just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Love a good quiz. So this same unit also uses the word remarkable.
It does.
Now, thinking about Lisbon's nightlife, which we just talked about, would it be more accurate to say it's remarkable or thriving?
Ooh, that's a good one. It really gets you thinking about the subtle differences between words.
It does, doesn't it? What do you think, listeners? Take a second to consider those two words. Remarkable versus thriving. What feels right to you?
And, importantly, why?
Exactly. What's the key difference you hear in those words?
Well, remarkable tells us something's worth paying attention to, right? It's interesting, it stands out,
Right, it's noteworthy.
but thriving adds that extra layer of intense activity and often suggests growth or flourishing.
Ah, I see. So something remarkable might be quite static. Like a remarkable historical site might be impressive because it's so old or well-preserved.
Exactly. But a thriving nightlife is all about movement and energy. People coming and going, music, laughter. It's actively buzzing, drawing people in.
It's not just existing. It's positively bursting with life.
That's a great way to put it.
And you know what I love about LexiTalk with Dr. Yusefi?
What's that?
It's not just about passive listening. We want you to really engage, to make these words your own.
Absolutely. So let's turn it over to you, listeners.
Time for a little active participation.
Think about a holiday destination that you know well.
Somewhere that's really stuck with you. Maybe it's a place you visited or somewhere you dream of going.
Now think about the cultural scene there. Would you describe it as thriving?
And if so, why? What makes it feel like more than just active?
What's that extra element of success, that energy, that buzz, that thriving brings to mind for you?
Is it the art scene? The music?
Yeah.
The food?
Or maybe it's a combination of all those things.
We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your examples on social media using the hashtag LexiTalk.
What's really fascinating here is that thriving often implies a collective energy. Like, it's something that involves lots of people, different elements coming together to create something special.
Right, so it's not just about one amazing event or attraction. It's about a sustained level of activity and success.
Exactly, like a whole ecosystem that's flourishing.
This is LexiTalk with Dr. Yusefi, and we're just getting started.
We are indeed ready to move on to our second powerful word from Unit 21.
I am. Let's talk about stunning.
Stunning. Now, if you turn back to page 76 of your Oxford Word Skills, you'll find the glossary defines it as extremely impressive or attractive, synonymous with beautiful.
It's a word that definitely grabs your attention, doesn't it?
It does, and it actually pops up in that very first example sentence we looked at about Lisbon.
Oh, you're right. It says, Lisbon is surrounded by 7 hills, and from most of them, you have beautiful, stunning views of this unusual city. Now, we all know what beautiful means, but why use stunning here? What extra nuance does it add?
It's a great question, because while beautiful certainly describes something pleasing to the eye, stunning implies something more, well, more powerful.
More powerful.
And
How so?
it's often about that sudden, almost shocking impact, that breathtaking quality. It's a beauty that grabs your attention and just doesn't let go.
I think I see what you mean. So it's like the difference between a beautiful flower, which is lovely to look at,
Right.
and a stunning vista that just leaves you speechless.
Exactly. One is gentle, the other is a bit more, well, dramatic.
So if you were showing someone photos from, let's say, your last trip to the Grand Canyon, you'd probably say, these photos are truly stunning, rather than just, these are beautiful photos.
Yeah, precisely. Stunning captures the vastness, the majesty, the sheer awe-inspiring nature of the Grand Canyon in a way that beautiful, while accurate, might not fully convey.
It's about evoking that immediate visceral reaction.
Exactly. And it brings us to another quick quiz just to test your understanding. Remember, you're listening to LexiTalk with Dr. Yusefi.
Always good to keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
All right, listeners, here's the scenario. Imagine you're watching a sunset.
But not just any sunset. This one's particularly beautiful with vibrant colors painting the sky.
Would you describe it as vibrant or stunning?
Think carefully. What feeling are you trying to capture?
Is it just about the colors themselves, or is it about the overall effect?
The way it makes you feel.
We'll give you a moment to ponder that.
And while you're thinking, let's throw in another scenario.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Imagine you come across a really impressive historical landmark.
One with lots of intricate details, maybe different architectural styles, very ornate.
Now, would you be more likely to describe it as diverse or stunning? Why would one word fit better than the other? Diverse might describe the variety of details, right?
Right.
But stunning would focus on its visual impact, its impressiveness as a whole.
You might say a building has diverse architectural elements, but it's the overall appearance that could be stunning.
Exactly.
Okay, listeners, we've given you lots to think about. But now we want to hear from you. Can you recall a time you saw something truly stunning?
What was it, and what made stunning the absolute perfect word to describe it in that moment?
What was that powerful, impactful, almost breathtaking quality that set it apart?
It's often about that element of surprise, that moment of awe, that visual impact that just stays with you.
Absolutely. You're tuned in to LexiTalk with Dr. Yusefi, and we're ready for the grand finale.
It is time to bring our two words of the day together. Thriving and stunning.
This is where we can really see how powerful each word is in its own right, and how they can work together to enrich our language.
So as we discussed, thriving is often connected to activity, success, and a kind of continuous energy.
It's often used to describe a group, a place, or an ongoing situation.
A thriving business, a thriving ecosystem.
Right, a thriving community. It's about something that's not just surviving, but actually flourishing.
Precisely. But stunning, on the other hand, is more focused on a powerful, often visual impression. It's often a more immediate, individual reaction to something exceptionally beautiful or impressive.
So you could have a stunning view, a stunning performance.
Even a stunning achievement.
So one is about ongoing success and energy, often in a collective sense, and the other is about a moment of powerful impressiveness, often visual.
Spot on. Now let's put your understanding to the test with one final scenario.
Are you ready, listeners?
Imagine you visit a small town. The local art scene is absolutely booming. New galleries are popping up everywhere.
There are performances every night, and people are flocking to the town specifically to experience this vibrant cultural scene.
Now, would you describe this art scene as thriving or stunning? And most importantly, tell us why you chose that word.
Really picture that scene in your mind. What word captures the essence of what's happening?
Okay, now, same town, different experience. Imagine you hike to a viewpoint overlooking the town as the sun sets.
And the colors are incredible. The light hitting the landscape takes your breath away. It's a truly unforgettable sight.
Now, in this case, would you say it's a thriving view or a stunning view?
What makes one word feel so much more appropriate than the other?
Another chance to actively engage and really feel the difference between these two words.
We hope you're enjoying this deep dive with LexiTalk with Dr. Yusefi.
Active engagement is key to making these words your own.
Absolutely. So let's do a quick recap. Today, we've explored two powerful words, thriving and stunning. Thriving evokes a sense of active success and energy, often ongoing and collective.
And stunning highlights something exceptionally impressive or beautiful, often creating a powerful and immediate impact.
And we want to encourage you, our listeners, to make a conscious effort to use both thriving and stunning in your conversations and your writing this week.
Notice how they feel. Think about the specific impact they have and really solidify your understanding of their nuances.
Absolutely. And that brings us to a final thought for you to ponder.
Think about other words in English that seem quite similar on the surface.
What subtle but significant differences in their meaning and usage might you be overlooking?
How can this deeper attention to the nuances of language enrich your understanding of the world around you?
And how can it allow you to communicate with greater precision and impact?
It's all about finding the perfect word for the perfect moment.
That's all the time we have for this LexiTalk with Dr. Yusefi deep dive into thriving and stunning. Until our next exploration of the power of words, keep listening and keep learning.
We'll see you next time.